Welcome to ViewTheRace.com. This is the Vineman Triathlon Bike Course from Guerneville, California. Now, as soon as you leave transition, you have a very steep but short uphill. Most people push their bikes up this hill. A few people tried to ride up, but it's really just not worth it in an Ironman or even a half Ironman. Now, as soon as you get up that short hill, mount your bike and you're going to work your way through the little downtown section in Guerneville before you get out on River Road. Now, this bike course starts out very deceiving. The first 5 miles of this course are very flat. Nice way to start an Ironman bike. Just nice and easy, lets your legs get into the race. Nice smooth road. But just be cautious because in the future, the hills are going to start and this course is going to start to get tough. But at the beginning of this race, it is very easy and very smooth on River Road. Just do not make the mistake of going too fast for the first 5 miles, thinking this is how the course is going to be. This course features mostly just rolling hills. There's only one really tough climb, and in the half Ironman you do it once, which is called Chalk Hill, and in the full Vineman you actually do this twice. You do Chalk Hill twice. So other than that, there's a few tough climbs, but nothing extreme. Beautiful views of the vineyards almost throughout this entire course. A lot of farmland. Now, as you near the ending of River Road, you're going to take a very sharp right onto Sunset. Now, this is a very sharp right with a very steep but very short, abrupt downhill. So just be very cautious and be aware of that. So it's coming up here. You'll see it, a very sharp downhill. And then you quickly go around a corner and you go through this little side street, and be aware as soon as you come around this little corner and you cross under a small bridge, there's going to be a very tough uphill. This is the type of uphill that to this point you haven't even had to work yet. Now, as soon as you come around this corner, there's going to be a very hard uphill. Make sure you are in a low gear, and you probably are going to have to stand up on this hill. Now, I was ready for this hill because I had seen it the day before, so now you can be prepared when you do it. Make sure you're in a low gear and just be ready to spin your legs up this long hill. And it is very steep, again, right at the beginning, so if you're not in the right gear, you're going to be in trouble. Now the course dramatically changes from the way it was on River Road. Once you get on West Side, you're going to be on West Side for over 10 miles. It's a very long stretch on West Side Road. Now, this road twists and turns with rolling hills and a lot of rough road. I've never been in a race where I saw as many flat tires and lost water bottles in the first 5-10 miles on West Side Road. There's just a lot of potholes and uneven ground. Now, when I saw this course in advance, I thought this stretch of road was going to be more difficult than it was. It is very rolling, but you tend to roll right up and over each uphill, so that it's not as bad as it would appear. The road does roll really well, and you tend to carry a little bit of speed on each one of these little downhills. So it wasn't too bad. I'm not a great climber, and I don't like hills, but I really felt like this section of the course was easier than I expected. Again, the most difficult part of this part of the course is the rough road. Now, for the full Vineman, this part of the course is not going to be repeated. Most of the course is going to be repeated as it is a double loop, but the part of the course that leaves the Russian River up until about midway on west side is not going to be repeated. So this section of the course will only be done once. And as you can see from the ground, there's a lot of sand, rough road, uneven ground to deal with. But just little rolling hills, and you kind of just roll your way around through the vineyards and farm country. And get used to this scenery, because this is going to be the scenery for the next several hours. There was very little road traffic to deal with on west side. It was mostly just you and 1,000 other cyclists. You can see the markings on the ground as I filmed the course the day before the race. The course was very well marked. There was no issues in finding your way around or trying to figure out where the next turn was. It was very well marked, and a lot of volunteers and police were on the course. A little bit of a tough uphill here. And as you crest the hill, you're going to have the first big downhill of the day. Now, I was overly cautious on this downhill because I wasn't sure of this brown dirt or mud on the road. I thought it might be very slippery, so I was extremely cautious coming down this hill, but other people blew by me going about 30 to 50 miles an hour, and I was going about 20 miles an hour. So. And you will be doing this part of the course twice. This is that top of that hill was the start of the part of the course that you're going to do twice on the full Vineman. Obviously, the half Ironman, you're only going to do this once, the whole course once. Great views of the vineyards on your right, and again, that's going to be repeated dozens of times during this course. Most of the course is through the vineyards. Now on this video, I have marked off every 5 miles, so there'll be a mile mark showing every 5 miles as we just passed through mile 10. Considering the length of these courses, both the half and the full, there really are not that many turns on this course. You really stay on just a few roads for long stretches of time. You can really settle into a nice pace and just kind of roll your way through the vineyards. Now, I really want to show everyone the course. I wish I had this course video before I did the race, but I have sped up certain sections of the course that are very similar, just for the sake of time. And I have purposely slowed it down once we get to some new terrain or a turn or some part of the course I feel like you need to see at a slower pace. But this gives you the picture of what the course would be. This is the exact course and what you'll be dealing with on race day. Just vineyards after vineyards on this course. You will see a lot of cyclists on this course. It's a very popular area for bike riding. And again, because the roads do not have that much traffic on them, it's very popular with local cyclists. You'll see a lot on the course. We cross through mile 15. This is a really unique course, as with having the 2 transition areas. In some ways it's problematic, but in other ways it is actually pretty cool. I've done a few races with 2 transition areas, and it's definitely different. You cover a lot more territory than you would in a normal event with just a couple of loops with the same transition. Cross over a little bridge, and suddenly you're gonna feel like you're coming back into civilization a little bit, because you were in the farm country for the last probably hour. And we're actually going to be taking a turn. The course also completely flattens out right before we take this turn. You can see the arrows on the road. On race day, there actually was a transition area, a water stop right there, right along this fence. And it especially came in handy the second time around on this course for the full Vineman. I stopped there for about 5 minutes. Okay, now we take a left on Dry Creek Road, and now the road's going to get a little bit more busy with cars. This is more of a main road. Road surface gets a little bit better as well. Similar terrain. Now I've slowed the tape down because actually there's the first really, I wouldn't say tough climb, but it's a longish climb on the course. If you use Map My Ride at all, I believe this is rated a Category 5. Or just short of a Category 5. So it's a long, tough climb. You don't realize it at first because it's not that steep, but once you get about right here, you're starting to realize that you're actually climbing a pretty good hill. And hopefully the wind won't be in your face. Again, not an overly steep climb, just a long, tough little drag here. And again, on the full Vineman, you will have to do this hill twice. Beautiful vineyard on the right and the left. Due to the similar terrain, you can really get yourself lost out here in your own mind. Just kind of zone out and just let the miles go by. Very few turns on the course. Just maintain whatever your goal pace was and just rip through this course. As you can see, the vineyards just do not stop on this course. There are just vineyards throughout the entire bike course. Another tough little uphill here. Long, slow, gradual climb. Okay, now just take this right on Canyon Road. The road's going to kick up just a little bit of a tough climb here. Yeah, not overly steep, just uphill. And as you crest the top of this hill, see how high you are in the distance. You're going to have a very, very fast downhill right here. This is a screaming downhill. It's a long downhill as well. And you just can carry you right by the highway, right underneath the overpass, and then you're going to be taking a right. And now it's going to really feel like you're back into civilization. You're going to see more businesses and homes, and it just seems like you're more into the city, and you'll notice it right away. It's definitely a big difference to the terrain you've experienced for the first 90 minutes or 2 hours of the race. You're actually into a little town. Road flattens out. A few turns through here. Again, the course will be well marked, not a problem finding your way around. Nice little flat section through here. Should be able to pick up a little bit of speed, actually. And as you cross over this bridge, you're going to stay to the right. Again, you can see the arrows on the ground, passing through mile 30. And now you kind of go back into farm country. You're going to see a lot more vineyards. Endless vineyards. A lot of tight little corners on this course, but it wasn't an issue. You just weave your way around. It really is amazing how many vineyards are on this course, especially if you've never seen a vineyard before. Again, I'm going to speed up this part of the tape as it is extremely repetitive. Again, the road is just slight rollers or mostly flat terrain through here. Now this will be the end of video 1. Please move on to the next video to see the second half of the bike course, which will include Chalk Hill. Thank you for viewing the race at viewtherace.com.